Today I'm going to check out a great watch at an awesome price by a cool company run by an awesome dude. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. I just picked this up. It's by Egard, and it is one of their new watches here. It's actually called the Shade, but I ain't throwing no shade at Egard because they are an awesome company. In fact, I actually discovered them when they built, in partnership with William Shatner, a meteorite watch, and I picked that up, and then Ilan from Egard emailed me, and he's just a cool guy. We've exchanged some emails over the years. I've never met him in person, but he's a family guy that started this company so that he would have something to do with his father, and he's been a great guy and a great champion for first responders, so I have really come to like him and his company, but they also make some awesome products. So let's take a look at this. So here is the watch. This is the Shade V2, and obviously it comes in this really nice box, which is very much like all of the other Egards. And here is the watch. Now this is just kind of a classy looking dress watch, and as you can see right there, man, it just has really good looks. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a Movado or something like that. It just has a little bit of this classic timepiece looks. It's not overly modern, but it has some modern touches. In fact, it has some skeletonization right there, and you can see it through the sapphire crystal. So you get a true sapphire crystal on this bad boy. 43 millimeter stainless steel case, so you can see how it's just polished up there. Really nice. We have Egard engraved in the side. We have these straight lugs right there. It just has a really beautiful look. It actually looks very kind of cosmopolitan. It actually has a little bit of like an Art Deco flair. It kind of reminds me of New York in the 80s and 90s and the architecture that was kind of popular then. I wouldn't be surprised if this model were called the New Yorker, to be really honest. Now, this is actually designed by Ilan, and like I said, he started Egard as a project that he could do with his father. So obviously, I think part of the classic looks is for someone who enjoys kind of the classic vintage timepieces. You can see here we have an alligator leather band. We have a deployment clasp, so both pieces will deploy right in there. Retention strap right there. This is really nice. I love the matte finish on this. A lot of them have a very glossy finish, but I love the matte finish. You can see here the dial itself is a little bit simple, yet it has a lot going on. First of all, we have the kind of these wings at the 9 and 3 o'clock position. I don't know if that subtly looked like the Batman logo to me, which maybe is why I thought of New Yorker, but again, it just has a little bit of that Chrysler Building Batman look, and man, it's great, but you don't really see a lot of that unless you get in on it. And I will tell you what, I have a really bright light right above me, and you can see the reflection right there, but it's kind of bluing that out. So I think there's an anti-reflective coating on there as well, but you can see kind of the blue from the 1 to 2 o'clock, the blue hands on there, just really beautiful. And you can see that Miyota movement in there. And now that movement is an 8N24 movement. So we obviously have a little bit of a skeletonized face right there because you can see it, and it is not running because it's been sitting around here. So you can see the crown right there, and I'm just going to go ahead and wind here by hand. And let's see if we can get her running, because you can wind this by hand. Obviously, wearing it as an automatic will move the lobe in the back, and there's the lobe, and it has a little peekaboo window right there. 5 atmospheres water resistance, so you can go down 50 meters with this thing without having to worry about it. The lugs right here are 20 millimeters, so you could replace it with a different band if you want. But man, that Miyota movement is really nice. I've had a number of Miyota movements in the past, and I will tell you what, they are just really bulletproof. They're super reliable. This particular movement, I think, has a 42-hour power reserve, so if you're wearing it, you really don't have to worry about it running out of power. You can put it on your nightstand when you're sleeping. If you're going out and doing all-day activities and not wearing it, you don't have to worry about it running out of power. Basically, you can leave it sit for the weekend if you want and not use it. But you can see, man, just a really smooth action on that second hand. If I pull it out one position here, and looks like that's how we can adjust the time, so I could go right there to 6 o'clock and push that in. It is not a screw down crown, but you can see the Egard cross swords right there. Man, this is a really nice watch. And let me get some of this plastic off and then throw it on my ugly wrist. So let's see if it can make me even look pretty good. Now, I will say that I wear my watches pretty large. I kind of wear them at about a 7.5 inch, and this fits me really well right out of the gate. But obviously you could adjust this for your wrist a little tighter. But man, 43 millimeters is just about the right size for almost anyone. Even if you're a big guy, 43 millimeters doesn't look small, and if you're a small person, it doesn't look overly huge. But man, that just looks great. It's got a lot of bling to it. That shiny polished case is fantastic. Just gives it a little pop without being overly ostentatious or ornate. You know, a lot of like the heavily jeweled watches can be. And again, part of this is the Roman numerals at the top that give it a little bit of classic look, and then contrasted at the bottom where we just have the pips at the hour markers. Really, really cool. Like I said, it could be called the New Yorker to me because it just has a little bit of that dark look, kind of like the Louis Moinets, just a classic look, but not at anywhere near the price points of some of the higher watches. So you can get a really nice classic looking watch with a modern twist, with a dead nuts reliable Miyota movement, all for under $300. So I think this watch itself retails for $285, which again, Egard is just fantastic because they've been around for years now, and I know it's just a stand-up company by stand-up guys, and man, what an awesome deal and value you can get. So it's something that you won't see on a lot of wrists if you're looking for something that's unique but high quality and keeps on ticking. Like I said, I still have my original Egard from, gosh, 6, 7, 8 years ago maybe, and it's still running and looks as good as it did when I bought it. So hey, if you want to pick this up or any of the other awesome watches by Egard, I'll put a link to their website in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.
If you wanna know about a brand, ask me. I'll check if what's in the bag's nasty. Better if you know what's up than the unhappy. I know what it feels like when you're done cashing. They tried their meal or drive their vehicle, garbage delivered at your PO. I know you feel yo, you wanna scream, your head hurts on your pillow.
Discover more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Explore deeper.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Live better.